So I'm joined today by my good friend,
Kosha Dillz.
Kosha Dillz. You might know him from his work on MTV, Wild and Out, and his documentary, Bring the Family Home.
You know, I came up in the rap battle scene. No one knew my real songs, so whenever I got an opportunity to perform, especially on a bigger stage like Yahoo, be like, okay, you freestyle for 2 minutes. I'm not going to do a song no one knows. You just got to kind of work with what the crowd is, you know? Like everyone's doing these little videos now on the street and talking to regular people, you know, from mayoral candidates, from presidential candidates to rappers and bands, and we're all just a bunch of content creators out here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm playing with you in NBA 2K. Like it's kind of crazy. They sold millions of games. I had a Billboard charting album. I was on tour with Yahoo in 311. I had an album chart on Billboard. And what did I do? I went out and started rapping in the street, on street corners, in my 40s.
Welcome back to another episode of Candid Minds with Dr. T and friends. Thank you for joining us. I'm joined today by my good friend, Rami Matan Evanesh, better known as Kosha Dillz. You might know him from his work on MTV, Wild and Out, and his documentary, Bring the Family Home. It's great to have you. Thank you for joining me today.
Good to be here. Good to be here again. I love it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always great to see you. Wanted to spend some time today. I know in our last episode we talked a lot about your personal journey with addiction and sobriety, and I appreciate you being vulnerable with our guests and sharing with them everything you've been through. But I wanted to really highlight everything you're doing as an artist and as a musician, and you've done a lot of great work in the last couple of years. A lot of our listeners are big fans and don't get a chance to hear kind of your backstory, how you got here, what you're up to, where you're headed, and just wanted to spend some time sharing with them a little bit kind of behind the scenes of what's going on with you. So where are you today and what are you up to?
Well, it's good to be here. Let's see. How did I get here? So I'm from Jersey, Israeli parents, started rapping in New York City. 98 was the first time I was on stage, 1990. So, like to have that New York credibility, I started in the 90s. And people are really, really amazed to hear, to really know that there was a long story. And, I came up in the rap battle scene. Back then, it was just open mics and rap battles. Really to record a song was a lot more complicated back then than it is now with home recording studios, etc. And that sort of, I had the name Kosha Dillz and it changed to KD Flow, and then it became Kosha Dillz when I got sober. I remember just really, because the name Rami is also an Arabic name, back then people didn't use their real names in music. So, like Kendrick Lamar, things of that nature, Asher Roth, for instance. This is his real name. If you came out in that new era, like 2009, but in 2003, people were just picking, we were making names up. So Kosha Dillz was like, hey, I'm a Jew, Instead of Rami, people are like, oh, where are you from? Such an interesting name, And now, using your real name is a lot cooler. So it's also fun, identity-wise, to be like, yo, I'm Rami. But, I was really grinding through this world of songs and rap, and I really got into freestyle rap because no one knew my real songs. So whenever I got an opportunity to perform, especially on a bigger stage like Yahoo, who was a big, catalyst and introducing me to the Jewish world, he be like, okay, you freestyle for 2 minutes. I'm not going to do a song no one knows. You just got to kind of work with what the crowd is, It's like,
yeah, I remember my first Yahoo concert. I was in college.
And that was just a time when people were there was a growing amount of Jewish pride to see these things, and it was really cool to be around that era to experience that. There was a rising amount of culture becoming, out in the open in the diaspora of, America, and there wasn't so much Jewish influence in the music scene out in pop culture, and Yahoo really brought that. So to be around with him, to rap and freestyle for crowds, not a lot of Jewish people, but also not a lot of tons of non-Jewish people.
Sure.
And that was kind of really were really sharpening my skills, you know, in the 08, 09, 2010, 2011, 12, 13. You know, those are the early years, man. Putting out records, but freestyling, and then just, you know, promoting my albums with freestyle, my written songs. And yeah, man, it's just like a different world. You know, we would print the CD, we'd print the mixtapes on like an inkjet printer and a compact Presario, and like burning them in the CD burner and stuff. Yeah, man. And this is just
we've come a long way.
Yeah, I mean, selling CDs. I used to have a record, and they sold it in the store, and I think I sold it outside the store too. It's just like selling, just you know, really just the dreams of selling a record. That was only my main goal. I just wanted to release a record. Came my whole career.
Yeah, it's huge. How did you come up with the name Kosha Dillz?
My boy was Yak Balls, so I was the Kosha Dillz. I think it was basically a sexual reference. I was like 17, you know. I was like, I'm going to be Kosha Dill, you know, and that was it. I always find it hard to like tell people, and they're like, "So how'd you come up with the name?" And I'm like, "Well, kids, I don't want to like start talking." You know, it's really awkward. So you know, it's a Jewish reference, a business reference. You know, it's like it has that multitude of things.
I love the name,
like Kosha Dillz. And I was around before the revolution. Like pickles became popular again, from Pickle Rick and like Adult Swim stuff. I felt like, I don't know, was Pickle Rick, what was it from? Like, it's from, was it in Adult Swim? What was it? Wherever. Anyways, Pickle Rick. And then when I went on Van's Warped Tour, we rebranded everything green and white. And then we were like selling pickles at the booth. There was a bunch of punk rock emo kids. They're like, "I love pickles. Oh, I want to buy your, you know, get your CD." And I had Andy Warhol's Banana album. And then it was What I Do All Day in Pickle instead of Velvet Underground and Nico, and we were kind of doing spoofs, and that giant pickle instead of the giant banana, like people were buying into it, because the coolest thing about branding is that like people, it's welcoming, and it's something that everyone loves and enjoys, and it's like a little bit lightheartedness represented me. And that was it. We were like, okay, this is fun.
If you can connect to it and people can connect to it, it's successful.
Exactly, and they haven't even heard the music yet. And so that was a great thing.
So what was your biggest kind of pivoting point or breakthrough in your career?
2009. Well, 2008, I did an album called Freestyle versus Written with this guy, C-Rays. He's in jail right now for like horrible things, I think, but made a good project. And he really, I knew I couldn't get this guy in the studio for like more than 24 hours. So I said, let's do a 24-hour album where we just record everything one day. And you'd pay him a fee.
Is that because horrible things would happen?
Huh?
You didn't want horrible things to happen?
Well, just like I knew he would not show up. I knew like he's just like, not, he's a reliable rapper if you could get him in one place for that time. But other than that, outside of it, you know, he came with a whole slew of other things. And I met him through another producer, Belief, that I was working with, who has gone on to do amazing things and Grammys and Grammy nominations and platinum records. And C-Rays, we did this song, Freestyle vs. Written, and it was like the Black Jewish collaboration of its time. It was 2008. And we made songs like, we made a song called I Love Jews over the Delphonics beat, I Love You. And that got in Spin Magazine. And at the time, Spin Magazine would get shipped to your house. And there was like, they shipped out like 400,000 magazines like a month. So it's like, yo, like everyone saw my face and picture in the magazine. And I have that in my house, and it's insane to think of. But from there, 2009, I won a rap battle. That record got a lot of critical acclaim. A lot of people that were around in that era. And then 2012, me and the guy Belief, Jesse, we had a Super Bowl commercial, and that was like a big breakout thing. He landed a license for my song Cellular Phone, and it was in a Bud Light commercial, and it was like the biggest check I had got. And then I went from merely, having like $150 in my bank account. I recorded it or re-recorded it in a rest stop bathroom in Loveland, Colorado, and I rigged it up with a little home recording kit, sent it off. He got it. Then and then on to the next. Like every 3 years, I was having something big kind of happen from there.
The grind there is inspiring, right? Like to somebody who thinks is not willing to even try because they don't have all the resources, they don't have all the money, they can't get a team behind them, so they don't even bother making the effort. To hear that you did it at a rest stop bathroom and made it work and you hustled.
Yeah, I mean,
that's huge.
It was like the #1 rated commercial on USA Today. It was in not only the Super Bowl, but it was like Super Bowl, NBA playoffs. Like it was just they kept using it. It's not like it wasn't a one and done. Sadly, Shazam wasn't out at that time. Which I wish it was, because people have been like, "What's that song?"
Yeah.
And it brings you right to that. But like, that was just a massive moment. And then having a team does help when you do have these big moments, and you say like, well, "How do we follow this up?"
Right.
How do we go on to the next thing? Like 2015, I had Vans Warped Tour. That's when we had the pickle branding we were just discussing. And we, that was like, I was trending on Twitter, and it was big, and I got NBA 2K. I became a playable character with Drake and Snoop Dogg, and that came from like passing out flyers in Austin, Texas, and I entered a contest to get the music in the game, but I got second place, so I couldn't, and they're like, "Hey, you want to be a character?" And that being a character, people were like, "Oh my God, I'm playing with you in NBA 2K. Like, it's kind of crazy." They sold millions of games.
Wow.
NBA 2K sells millions of games every year. Sure. It's an institution that'll forever be. And there's gonna be NBA 2K 2078. So who knows what they're gonna be doing.
I believe that. So you had this breakthrough. And now fast forward to Wild and Out on MTV. What happened there?
I would say I went back to my like source of like during the pandemic. I must have had like 1,000 followers or something on Spotify. Like, the street performing, I had done it before, but I came to New York and I started rapping like in the street because there was nowhere else to do shows. And because all the shows were canceled, all the tours, etc. So we did this. I looked at it and I'm like, all right, I know how to go viral now. Like, I'm rapping in the weather. It was like rapping in a snowstorm. I rapped in a rainstorm.
Grinding.
And yeah, and it was like a New York thing. People are like, New York, like meme pages will post, New York in the rain, part 1, New York in the rain, part 2. It'll just be like these random things.
Did you ever want to give up when it was raining, when it was snowing, when it wasn't going smoothly for you?
Well, the funny thing is, I started chasing to rapping like more messed up weather because I knew like the more it was raining, I was like, this is probably better for the video.
Oh, okay.
So actually, no, but people don't know that. But like, I was rapping outside in the rain.
If life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
Yes. So it was like, I'm going to rap it outside all the Knicks games. So I had done a couple of Knicks games, and the one drunk fan tries to like battle me, and I like roast him, and that got like 50,000 views on Instagram, and I'm like, okay, this is sick. I think reels were just coming out, and then I did it again, and I'm rapping, and then Fat Joe came out of the area, and then he started rapping with me, and that got on like World Star. It got on, Shade Room. It got on Rock the Bells. It got on all the hip hop pages, but definitely World Star and Shade Room really drove it up and drove the numbers up. I got a lot of followers from there, plus Twitter, plus Facebook, plus YouTube, and I realized that jumped over to following it up. I rapped with another guy. Mark Ronson saw me. CeeLo saw me. I rapped for the Migos. Rest in peace, Takeoff. Like, I was dressed as I was just like always in the celebrity area. Gary. So I had first a viral video, and then I had a Hanukkah song with this dude Nassim Black, and as a Black Orthodox Jewish rapper, we remixed Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song.
He dresses like Hasidish, doesn't he?
He's a Hasidish guy. Yeah. He's a real deal.
Yeah.
And we had a song, and Gary V, outside the Knicks game, he jumped in a thing with me, and we just we got it in the video, and we flipped it on like Thanksgiving night. We did a video, and I learned how to really rush content. Like, I want to do a 24-hour music video. I want to shoot a music video today. It's out tomorrow. Upload.
Yeah, it's like fast fashion.
Yes. It's just like reactionary music, essentially. Like, we're on time crunch. We just had an idea. And I got a guy that like really, that's how we work.
Quick turnaround.
Uh-huh.
How does that get to MTV Wild and Out?
After I got the Hanukkah song was I went from a viral video with Fat Joe to a viral song. The song got into Variety magazine. We got like a cease and desist from Adam Sandler.
I was just going to say, the
big.
only song you have for Hanukkah is Adam Sandler.
Yeah, and we did the remix to it.
Okay.
No, but I got other songs. So, and then I got the audition. So they knew me a little bit, but then I got the audition after the Fat Joe thing, after this, and people were like, it was just like one after the other. And I think I had found out, I was trying to get on Wild 'N Out for like 3 years.
Wow.
Like trying to just like, I had somebody who was like working on it, and and then Nick had a whole thing with like he got canceled because of anti-Semitism, and and then the show was back on. He got on, and they had auditions, season 18, and that's it, man. It was just timing.
And tenacity. If you listen to your whole story, there is this unbelievable.
To me, that was normal. I was like, well, I got to go here. I got to go to the place.
But super persistent, very tenacious. There's something very competitive about your personality that you don't accept no for an answer. It's
and you have a lot of bomber videos in between, like videos that before the Fat Joe thing, a lot of the things didn't, but like there were some promising ones. They were like, this one got 20, this one got 40.
What about when something was garbage? How do you deal with that?
It depends on
At the pace you're moving. Do you even have time to deal with it? Or
you just upload another one, dude.
And but that's the secret, right? The secret is that if you are moving quickly and you produce something that's trash, and now you're going to dwell on it, it could paralyze you.
No, and
how did you get up so quickly and dust it off and be like, forget it, I'm going to try something else?
I just think if you have a good opportunity to release something, you just go do it, right? So someone says, "Oh man, do this," and you're like, "I thought that was the big one. That totally bombed." Like I did last year, I don't know, a video called about the election, Kamala Cornell, Trumpenstein. It was like Kamala, Cornell, West, Trump, Jill Stein, all these people in the same music video, with all the masks. And I'm like, oh, this will be a crusher. Mm-hmm. And it was a fun thing, and people were out, and it was a great experience, and everyone was filming. But it just didn't do the numbers it did, and whether it's the song or it's this, but you just got to give it a push. And I saw Russ talk about this. You give them an equal push, but the song quality will be like, yo, this is what I want to hear from you, and you'll see what people really like. You're like, oh, this was a bop. The Hanukkah song, when I play it, and you just see people really, that beat just bop, just cracks off.
Hits home.
Yeah, it's just a feel-gooder.
Yeah,
and so a video it's just a video. It's just digested as a video. But a composition of a song, and the content around a song, it really lifts it up. You know what I mean? And I think I have the song now, Mayor of New York, and we were not going to release it. And, one of the mayoral candidates jumps into video, makes it really great. Video doesn't take off. All the content around the video takes off. Now the songs go. So now we have so many different things. So like I said, Wild 'N Out was me making a video, make a song. Now the song goes viral. Now we get more shows. Now we get the audition. You get the audition, you get on the show. Now the audition videos are going viral before the show. Now one of the show videos, no one's following me from TV, but the social media is going up. But then you go in the airport and people are like, I know you from TV. I know you're the guy. And you're like, some black dude in St. Louis is like, oh, you're my man. I love your stuff. And you're like, oh, man, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
And you're just like, you're breaking boundaries. And you're like, okay, now that's a special moment for me because it's just nice to people to come up to you.
Feel recognized, right?
To feel recognized, right? Because we all want to be seen on some level. And we're seen. And then if you make that into content, you're like, hey, what do you think? Everyone's doing these little videos now on the street and talking to regular people, from mayoral candidates, from presidential candidates to rappers and bands. And we're all just a bunch of content creators out here.
Yeah, but the resilience, though, is inspiring, right? I think you've been very resilient and having thick skin and not allowing failure to stop you.
Some people stop talking to you. They just drift out of your life for a year or 2 or 3. And then all of a sudden they come back in. Oh, man, I saw that. You know, you just don't know what anyone's... Try not to take anything personally. Resilience has nothing to do with things that are like taking things personally. You know, if you look at like the biggest leaders of the world and things like they don't pay attention to following people and who's following or...
No, and I used to be very offended easily, and now I'm the exact opposite. Now I don't really care. I hear negative. You know, the more successful you become, the more negative feedback you attract, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you let that slow you down, it's debilitating.
Oh yeah.
So
dude.
I hear negative feedback all the time. If there's something, and
Easier said than done, right?
Right.
I'm telling you, and you're like, oh yeah, I don't care. And the other day, man, I mean, I woke up this morning and this person commented, and I'm like, oh man, I can't. Why does he do it? And he commented, he doesn't follow. What should I say? And you're like, dude, get out of yourself. Help somebody else. Ask somebody else how they're doing. Really, there's people out there that are like their dream is to just play one time in New York. That's it, right? I went from playing. I had a Billboard charting album, right? I was on tour with Modesty Hour in 311. I had an album chart on Billboard. And what did I do? I went out and started rapping in the street, on street corners, in my 40s. I mean, if you don't want to get married, you know, do what I'm doing. I don't know what else to say. But now I made more money than I could ever imagine doing something so... But it just goes to think you like structure, like, oh, but he works at the label and he wears a suit and he goes to a building every day and he makes $90,000 a year. I'm like, well, I'm like dressing up in a pickle suit, rapping outside a deli, and I'm making twice that or, you know, 3 times that. And,
right.
You know, like when everyone's like, oh, man, I think that guy who's dressed as a Liberty outside Liberty Tax every time they're promoting like tax season, you know, and the guy, and he's like this, you know?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, my God, what a horrible job. And I'm thinking, like, man, that's awesome. That dude is like, yeah, I don't need to be broke. I could just do this. I could just dress up in a Liberty thing and pass out these flyers. And I've always loved...
He's out there. He's doing something.
Exactly.
That's
and I always loved people that are like, yeah, I don't have to be broke. Like, you could street perform. You could sell CDs. I saw guys go from... The people that I grew up with, the hustlers, like... There was this guy, man, I told him, Peter Parker. His name wasn't Peter Parker. I think his name's Giles. He's from Cincinnati. He was homeless. He went from selling CDs on Hollywood Boulevard, like a full-time job, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or something like that. And he literally, like, bought a Mercedes, and he had a play. I mean, and he would say, hey, man, if you're homeless, he's like, don't sell drugs, just sell CDs, you know? Yeah. Like, just, you get out here. It's so easy. There's people, tourists, and it's just so easy to be legit. And it's just... It goes to show you, like, we have these interactions with humans, but do you want to just be like, hey, hi to everyone, or do you want to, like, is this where you want to work? And, you know, and that's it, you know, and that's how you got to kind of mentally go into it. It's like, hey, man, I'm going outside to make videos today. I'll go outside and make videos later. And I just love creating. I really do love it, so it's easier for me. But yesterday I wrote an article about how to raise money for a Kickstarter and doing these little things and, you know, making more money doing some street things with independent Instagram pages and businesses than I am with massive companies that don't have the same budget as someone else who's like an independent guy. And it's like, bro, I love you. I want to just pay you and let's try it out. Right. And, you know, you give money to the grind and you really get the value of a $500 video or a $100 video when you waste $3,000 and you get the same views on a $100 video as you do on a $3,000 video. Doesn't mean you shouldn't make the $3,000 video because you want to make art and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And you want to make these really, really, really cool things. Certain 100%. Time, it's a business decision, but like I'm just driven by I used to want one more view and now I just want like one more creation. You know, I'm like, I want another song. The other day, I make the best songs when I'm like, I'm going to book studio time right now and I have no idea what I'm going to do. I just know that I'm not doing anything else today. I'm not doing I could just feel the energy that I'm not really going to send more than 10 emails. And that's all you're getting today, you know? So I'm going to make a song. And the song might be a game changer for me. Wow. And a song, composition of a song lasts longer in our lifespan because someone could use it. It could always go viral at any time. It's streamable. People could listen to it while you're not. And that's a beautiful thing about a song. More than a video.
Right, it's immortal.
Yeah.
What about the documentary?
Documentary's great. I've always wanted to make film. First time I did film, first time I was at Sundance Film Festival was 2009. I remember meeting, she married Tom. Who was Tom Cruise's wife? Katie Holmes and Elijah Wood. Maybe I met Elijah Wood. Maybe in like some random place. It was like a Gibson guitar upstairs, and there was this is Main Street. And this year's the last year of Sundance, and I had that, and then I would go back again and just try to get gigs, and then I tried to do a documentary in 2011. I never really finished it. I raised money for it on Kickstarter. Then I did other pop-up, like half-ass, docs. Little short things. They're not half-ass docs, but they're little short things, This, I started, I made a song on October 7th called Bring the Family Home. That was my response. I was playing a festival, and I went to the studio to make this song. And people were yelling "Free Palestine." I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make a song for the hostages. This is something I want to do. And instead of calling it "Bring Them Home," we're gonna call it "Bring the Family Home." So, I want my own flavor. I don't want to be, I want to make my own decision here. And that song became really popular, and then I started doing interviews in the streets, which became really popular, and people thought I was an interview guy. They were like, oh, I love your videos. And they didn't even know I make music because my videos got so popular that it totally overtook everything I did in music. They don't know Fat Joe, Wild 'N Out. They're like, oh, my God, you're on Wild 'N Out? They literally said it in my bio, and people are like, whoa, I didn't know that. And, so people don't know. You have to really show people and really re-emphasize that with things you do. And the difference between this and Wild 'N Out essentially is when you go to Wild 'N Out, there's 200 some people on set, and you get this, and you're going out and you're performing, and it's done, and they cut it and everything, and you're like the star. And this, I made the song, I funded my own videos, I would go out and make all this stuff, and then I started feeling guilty about becoming really popular. I gained like 100,000 followers, all related to the Jewish content that I was putting out from protests. And I said, all right, I'm going to take all the money I make from the shows now, because people are asking me to perform on during the encampment era. I went and I performed inside an encampment. So I was getting screamed at by all the protesters, and people were like, you're a hero. And people loved it, and they're like, we want you to come to campus. And I was getting booked to play for the Jewish students. Then the Jewish students wanted me to taunt the other kids too. They're like, fuck because people are taking over campus, just probably bring the family home everywhere on campus. And that was really it. That was the idea, that I stand behind the song, and if you can't say, help Palestinian people and free the hostages, then you're about to get this smoke. That's it. So I would perform it, and I kind of just felt guilty. I was like, damn, dude, I'm doing better. I felt that I was definitely just, my career was taking off because of a horrible thing, and that just sits weird with me. So I said,
like you were exploiting the situation?
Exactly. That was the feeling. I knew I wasn't, but due to my addictive tendencies, I saw other people doing similar. I was the first one to do the interviews, by the way, on college campuses. I did it week one in, and the video would get 1 million views. The first video got 1 million views, and then the next one got 5 million views, and the next one got 2 million views, and you're like, dude, this is crazy. I've been getting 10,000 views and 5,000 views and 20,000 views for years.
I sit in the 5,000 to 10,000.
Yeah, yeah, and you're like, oh my gosh. Now let me tell you this. So we go all the campuses, and I pay my camera guy, and we finished a movie. We got a movie. And I show it to people, and they're like, this is really good. You should either cut it down to a short or make it longer. We go on, and now the movie shows the movie within the movie. So we're going to film us showing the film. Does that make sense to you?
You're going to film yourself showing the film, or film yourself filming?
Film ourselves showing the film. Okay. So we rent out a theater. We sell all the tickets, called Facets Theater. And then this place cancels us 3 hours before, all because of Israel stuff.
Because I'd also be curious to see you filming the film.
We have that too. Yeah.
Meaning how people reacted to you on campus when the cameras were off.
Yes. Well, we have that too.
You know what I'm saying? Like the main camera's off.
Yeah.
And how are people reacting to the fact that you're coming here now to ask these questions?
Oh, well,
it's interesting. It's like a behind the scenes kind of
thing. I feel like that shows our film. I guess mine is a very raw meta experience, and like I said, I always wanted to make a film, but them canceling the film. And then us finding a new place, that's the ending of the film, right? So now we have, it got into Hollywood Reporter, it got into NPR. So canceling us, this became like this new thing, right? Like before it was like going viral, now getting canceled is like good for your film. That's like a form of promotion. But reality is the song's called Bring the Family Home. The film's called Bring the Family Home. I start submitting it. I'm in Israel like in September. I submit it to Sundance, I'm doing the due. And then the hostages are announced that they're going to be released. So I extend my flight and I said, dude, we have to open this film back up. Like this isn't the end of it. It's not about, being single, being lonely, and burying yourself into protest culture because, you're going viral. Like the subplot of my film is that I'm going to be alone forever because I just go to protests. Mm-hmm. And I think this entire protest culture is cluttered with a lot of mental illness, right? Because we become addicted to this new lifestyle, right? It's like we're being hostage to freeing the hostages. The mind state of bringing the family home, we have become hostage to this whole new aura of we got a podcast. I got a podcast about podcasting. It's like I got to make content about the hostages. I got to, free the hostages. And I don't even know all the hostages' names, right? But I got to free him. And what I realize is now the hostages are coming home and I'm in Israel and I have an ability to like document something that will be remembered for thousands of years. This is the highest quantity of hostages we've ever had to release since the beginning of our time, right? And like they're going to rewrite a new Torah or whatever, like about Tel Aviv. And I was there. And this is the first film to have it. And that's really what it is. And so it's a way of fighting anti-Semitism, and there's an entire brand behind that we're hostage to, that we use trauma porn to raise money for things. And this is a lighthearted approach about my neurosis and how weird I am, about also my music that I created around post 10/7 and how it's been a voice for a lot of people, including myself, but also like the trauma that I go through because we are so traumatized in general society. We'll watch people get slaughtered and killed on Instagram, and we'll be like, ugh, I want to get another coffee. I need to go do yoga, right? So having something that's lighthearted approach this very tough topic, we're going to engage new listeners. So for instance, how do we get people to learn about the Holocaust? You hang out with a Holocaust survivor in a cigar lounge, and then you learn that this old guy, because people want to smoke a cigar with an old guy. Then they learn that he was in it, and now they're more open to it because they like him. So to be likable is a journey that everyone wants to be liked. And that's what I kind of do in this film. I think I approached it in a way that no one has ever approached the topic of anti-Semitism, of this, to a personal journey. As they say, we make it all about ourselves, and I literally made a film all about myself, through this hard topic. And that's the joke. I'm like, obviously I made it about myself. Of course, I'm selfish, I'm seeking, I'm obsessed with myself.
Where can someone see this?
It's going to come out in January. I think we're either premiering, ideally we're going to be at an American film festival in January, and in February I'm going to be in Germany, and March we'll be in South by Southwest. If it's not being shown officially, we're going to be at every film festival this entire year. And right now I have a Kickstarter for it, which people can still give, and we've already broke our we tried to raise $50,000. I've spent almost over that filming last year, and I've learned a lot about what it means to really craft a story. And most of my stuff is freestyle rap on the street. And This is not a freestyle. This is very intricate, hacking, surgical. Everything means something. And there's Easter eggs, and there's all these little, things in the film that people don't get. And it's so beautiful to be judged based on my film work, outside of, hey, he's Jew, he's Israel, we can't show this.
Right.
And my dream is that, based on the supporters, I've had everyone from Juliette Lewis from Natural Born Killers share it, to Azalea Banks, to a local rabbi, to, my buddy Lukey's in a film with Timothy Chalamet. I mean, like, people are engaging in this topic that are not engaged in it. You know, they haven't seen the horrors of October 7th, and they also like it when I rap, and they want to support me, and people love an awkward story, and they also like people that show them failing. Failing is a key to your success as an artist. I really think the more you fail today, Gary Vaynerchuk says a lot. He goes, if you're born into privilege, no good. Like, you need to come from the gutter. And like, if you don't have a gutter story, you have to see how that fits in. So if you're like giving your wealth away or something like that's more appealing than saying, hey, I have all the wealth. And I think this people love this, you know, bring the family home, and now the hostages are home, and now what? Like, we still have all these issues, and that's ultimately like why we're here in the first place, because we have these core issues we never solved. And this is like, you know, deeper discussions.
Amazing. No, you're doing great work, and certainly are very creative and very talented. We're excited to see the film in January. We'll also put the link to your Kickstarter on the bottom of this page. So
you get anything from merch. It's not a. People ask me, is it a GoFundMe? It's not a GoFundMe. I'm not homeless. I didn't break a leg. I don't have health insurance. Which I have health insurance. Just want to make sure my mom knows. Like, we need to find alternative ways of addressing. You could pour in $1 million, $2 million, $3 million into a film and make it all this one-sided thing. But until we address the core issue, it's an us thing and not a either side. This isn't a basketball team. It's not Nets versus Knicks.
Right.
Then you know, because it's uncomfortable for people to talk about these issues, but you could watch it silently with popcorn. And that's why I wanted to make a film. So I don't want to have to re-explain myself. I really feel like people don't know who I am. I'm not a video. I'm not a rap song. And so through this horrible conflict, I've gotten a chance to share my story, and also our story of a lot of people that I think they're like, oh, dude, I'm happy you put it into those words. And yeah, you're just seeing by the diversity of the people that are pledging to the Kickstarter, people want it. So
Amazing and very powerful. Kosha Dillz, thank you very much for joining me today. I wish
Thanks
you the best of luck. I'm excited to see this project, excited to see your next project. You're doing great things. So look forward to hearing and seeing good things from you. Obviously, you're always welcome. I appreciate you coming on today.
Thanks
to
so
our
much.
viewers, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you back here again soon.
Peace.